What's up guys, it's me Charlie and I'm here to give my final review on Misery. Alright, we have about 1 day to go before the Spotlight. A little bit less than 2 days to go before the Spotlight changes. Alright, before the weekend mission rolls over and you don't gain the additional 400 tokens. I think this is 400 tokens or 200 tokens. Alright, and I'm gonna give my verdict on Misery. My verdict on Misery is a strong no. I don't think Misery is worth the keys. Alright, as you can see, I 1-key War Machine, I'm happy with it and I'm not going any further. Now, I'm going to digress a little bit, sidetrack a little bit and talk a little bit on Nomura, because I've been saying that Nomura has been one of the best silent performers since her launch, but I'm not opening for her, because although it seems like, oh well, you have 25 keys, you have a lot, but the thing is, I think I want every single of the data mine cards that's coming up. Alright, so and if I were to, be so unlucky and spend 4 keys on each week, every week, alright, I'll deplete all my keys, and I kind of don't like that. Alright, so I could be a little bit low on resources, so I'm just holding out to see what happens. Yeah, so although I kind of want Nomura, I might have to give it a skip for now. Alright, now as to Misery, there are 4 decks that Misery finds himself being talked about, being played in. Alright, let's begin with number 1, Destroy. Alright, Cozy Snap claimed that Misery is going to be Destroy's new toy, and the true fact is that's not the case at all. Alright, the only deck that Misery has found herself into in terms of Destroy decks is the one that runs Lady Deathstrike. A very novel way to play, very innovative, very creative, but at the end of the day, it is not the strongest Destroy deck that you can run. It is not even a strong deck, it's just a kind of like a fun deck, a cool way to play. But definitely in no way strong. Definitely, if you're looking to really compete and things like that, nope, not a deck that you want to play. Right, I already mentioned, Destroy runs a very tight ship, and you specifically want to destroy X23 as many times as you can, as often as you can, most critically on turn 5, and Misery doesn't help you with that. Right, so Misery is a dud on Destroy. Second thing that I want to talk about would be some people have been trying to use Misery to combo with Ronan, Master Mo, Black Widow. I think that's a very fun idea. But the problem is it requires the curve to be very smooth in terms of drawing. Sorry, not the energy curve, but the drawing, your draws, right, to be very smooth. Okay, because if you draw Master Mo late, if you play Master Mo late, if you play Black Widow late, there is very little incentive to actually play Misery onto them. Alright, because well, your opponents probably have their draws there already. Alright, and hitting them again with Master Mo doesn't really do anything. Hitting them with a Black Widow might, but you're also losing quite a fair bit of tempo. Alright, and overall I think at that point in time, if you're trying to do a Misery play on turn 5, I don't think that's realistic, because that's when you want to play your Ronan, your Dark Hawk, your big body style. Alright, so that requires a very... For this Misery to work in a Dark Hawk Ronan kind of deck, it requires a very perfect drawing scenario, which I think is is difficult. Alright, now the third thing, which is obviously everybody's pre-release thoughts, Clock. Clock took a big hit after White Widow's rework, I would say rework, alright. And ultimately, I think Clock is in a very bad space right now. I don't think Misery really helped Clock, because there are so many other things that you can do in terms of Clock decks. Alright, you want to play your Kate Bishop, you want to play your Dr. Octopus. There's so many things that you want to do. Alright, and if you're looking at going past turn 4, on turn 5, your ideal play is actually Cannonball. Alright, and cards like Hobgoblin, which actually serve Clock decks very well, have also been displaced. Alright, because people would rather play your small cards, your small combos things, right? So Misery hasn't found a footing in Clock decks as well. It just doesn't really make sense, alright? And right now with that nerf to White Widow used to be the strongest selling point of Misery in Clock because you can throw out two Widow Kisses, and you know, there's no way they can get rid of it and it becomes 0 power even if they fill it up. Alright, it gives you a very big advantage, and you are not so concerned about losing tempo because the kisses will be at most 0 power. Alright, so but right now it doesn't make any sense because if you were to White Widow again, the keys would, there will be 2 kisses and they only have to play 2 cards and both the kisses will be destroyed. So in fact, by playing Misery on the White Widow, you're actually helping them, which doesn't make any sense, right? So Misery in Clock, nope. Clock overall is in very bad shape right now. And we move to the final one, which is where I think Misery is at her best, Mill decks. Unfortunately, Mill decks, while very fun, very interesting, are not the best decks. I think they are a borderline B at best in a ranking that includes S tiers, right? So yeah, it's fun, but it's not the best deck, and it's kind of sad that Misery's footing is in Mill, and that's about it. Alright, so that is the ultimate conclusion of Misery. It's quite a miserable card in Marvel Snap. Definitely skippable. It's cool. Her ability is very cool in theory, you know, but she has a big problem feeling in terms of curve. Alright, she really has a has a big problem in terms of feeling in terms of curve. In terms of what needs to happen for her to be workable, for her to actually have an impact. Alright, so long story short, definitely skippable unless you are very rich in resources and you don't mind getting a card just for fun, because trust me, Misery can be very fun.